Hello, I'm Mike Potnopoulos, and I'm the academic coach for Springdale Public Schools. And if you've ever got a question, you want to reach out to me, I'm putting my email up here at the top so that you can know how to get a hold of me. And that's me. And if you just start typing in MFOT, I bet something will pop up pretty soon. So today, what I want to talk to you about is how to read your raw data score from an ACT test once you get done with your ACT exam. And see if I can manipulate this camera just a little bit. See if I can. There's that. Let's see if I can get it to a little bit better. Okay, so anyway, so this is a raw data score. This is what you'd find at the end of every ACT exam. Once the test has been scored and sent back out to all the people that ever took it, etc., this is going to be the data that you would have at the end of it, and it shares with you kind of what you would need to score in order to make the score that you scored, which is redundant, but that's kind of what it is. Anyway, the I guess the least favorite score we could get is a 1, and then the best favorite score that we could get is a 36. And I've always said, if you ever have a student walk up to you and say, "Hey, I scored a 37 on the ACT," you know they're lying. Or if they, "Hey, I scored a 0," no, you didn't. You just can't. You're going to fall into this row right here, 1 through 36. And then the way they get that score is by knowing that there's 75 questions on the English, there's 60 on the math, 40 on the reading, 40 in the science, and then let's pretend you got a score of, say, let's pretend you got a score of a 21 in English. That means you got 45 to 47 correct right in there. Let's pretend that you got 30 correct in your math. You got half of them right. Well, that's a 21 as well. All right. Let's pretend, though, that you got 30 correct out of 40 on your reading. Well, that's a 27. And then let's say science, you got 17 to 18 correct. Let's say you got 18 correct. Well, that's 18 in science. And so now when you take those, that's the sum of the scores. You basically just add those up. And so that's 21 plus 21 plus 27 plus 18 equals 87. This is real simple. Divide that by 4. And here you'd get 21.75 or 22. You get a 22. You've made a 22 on the ACT. There you go. So now you can start to see what it is that you got to score. And this is why I go over this, so that you can start to kind of personalize your ACT score, so that you can kind of start to see what it is, where it is that you can, where you're going to get, where you can study and get better at. You'll know if you watch my other videos, the English and the math section. These are two different sections that I can study. And actually learn the curriculum that ACT has in them. And once I learn that curriculum, I'll get even better and start to shoot my score up even more. And the reading and the science is all about your reading comprehension, and it's your ability to read and tell somebody what it is you've read. And so this is more about practicing, and I'll show you that throughout a series of videos that I have as well. But let's just go ahead and start looking at some of these and what they mean to us. I think the number 19, a score of a 19, is really important to us. And the reason it's important to us is because that is the Arkansas Challenge Scholarship. And that's a terrible little wavy yellow line. But somewhere in there, you can start to see what it is you got to make to score a 19. And the reason you want that is because you're going to get $14,000 in scholarship money. That's the Arkansas Challenge Scholarship. And you can Google anything that I say. Anytime you feel like, what did he say? Stop what I'm talking, stop the video, and just go Google it. Okay. But this is a $14,000 scholarship. It's the Arkansas Challenge Scholarship. When you see people buying lottery tickets in front of you at a Speedy Mart, this is where that money goes. And so it should come out as $2,000 your freshman year, then $3,000, then $4,000, and then $5,000 your senior year, as long as you maintain that 2.5 GPA at a state-funded college. So that's it. That's really all you got to do. Score 19, get a high school diploma, and you're headed off to the University of fill in the blank with $14,000 over the next 4 years. And that should add up. Let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah. So there you go, $14,000 scholarship. 23 is another one that you should probably really strive for those kids that are kind of close to that. I would make sure I'd get my 23 on an ACT exam. And the reason is because of 23 makes sure that it ensures that you will probably be admitted to that university without any remedial classes. And one of the things that you can do is go to the college that you're interested in. Let's pretend you're interested in the University of Arkansas. Simply go to their website and type in, or go to Google, type in University of Arkansas, and then go to admissions and see what it is that you have to score on an ACT score to be admitted. You can also ask your counselor to help you with this if you want. And you're going to find that Arkansas loves that number 23. Okay? The more you hang around that number, the better off you are. And that way you don't have to take remedial classes of some sort of English or math, or maybe have to take extra labs of English and math and things of that nature. And then when we get to 28 is a good number to get into, because that's just more and more scholarship dollars that you're going to get from a university. And that's another thing that I would do, is I would go in and I would go to go to Google, type in University of Arkansas, and you're going to see that they've got a magnifying glass at the top of their website, and hit that button, and I just would go in there and I would put ACT scholarships. And you'll start to see what I'm talking about. Or say scholarships in general, or merit-based. Type that in. Merit-based scholarships. That is to say, I scored really well on my ACT. I'm telling you, colleges will be fighting over you because they want you kids at their university as much as they want anybody. And see what it is that they would pay for that. And then of course, the best one is a 32. Some kids think making a 36 is the best score that you can make. I say it's a 32, especially in the state of Arkansas, because now you're dealing with what is commonly referred to as the Arkansas Governor's Distinguished Scholarship. That's Arkansas Governor's Distinguished. And you've got to get that 32. You got to have a 3.5 GPA, which you probably do. If you're shooting a 32, you're going to get $10,000 a year per year. And then again, there's going to be other scholarships that get piled in on top of that. And basically, you're going to probably go to a university here in the state of Arkansas without having to pay for school. So that's what this is. And so that's what, at the end of the day, you can basically use this piece of paper here that we have, and just kind of figure out what it is that what it is you want to make on the ACT, and then go from there. And then of course, if you've already taken the ACT, you can see what it is that you've scored in the past. Well, now you can see the explanation of why you scored that. Let's talk about super scores for just a second. A super score is when you take the ACT multiple times and you take the best score of each one of these particular subtests, and then you average that. Now you got a super score. But then you have just this one test. Well, that's called a composite score. A composite score is there it is right there. It's your composite score over one test. And so let's take a look at that. Your super score will probably get you admitted into the university of fill in the blank. It's your composite score that will get you scholarship dollars. And if you need to pause or rewind that's the best way to think of that. Your super score will help you get into the university. It's your composite score that will help you with scholarship dollars in the future. So keep that in mind. And then lastly, too, if you are struggling, say, with English and math, but your reading and your science is really good, well, that pretty much tells you that your strength is reading comprehension, and you need to go in here and learn what's going on in the English, learn rules of the comma, and learn what is it about the math that's kind of messing you up? What pieces of math evidence do you see, or that seems to be kind of hanging you up? Maybe you're really good in English, math, and science, but your reading is is lower. Okay, now you kind of know what to study or know how to approach that. And of course, be watching for my videos regarding English, math, reading, and science, each one of these. But this video again is hopefully helping you understand like where your score comes from and how to read your score and what it means, and then of course how that applies to scholarship dollars in the future here in the state of Arkansas, and also um, going to being accepted at your university. And again, a lot of that can be explored on any website. You just go to Google, type in that school, and if you want to see what I've got videos too. And websites that I've created on all of these colleges in our state. And again, if you just type in and give me an email, I'll send you everything that I've got. So there you go. Hope this helps, and we'll talk to you soon. And good luck.